Hey, Tracy. Hey, girl. I wanted to just give it a couple of minutes. I didn't want to start it without everybody, well, a couple of folks at least being here. But it is premiering at 7:45. So if you miss it, or if you have to jump in and out, if you just want to go back and take notes, it'll be there without all the chit chat, chit chat. Um, how you doing, Tracy? Oh, thank you. Right back at you. How are you? I ain't gonna get started without checking on you. And then we're gonna let it rip. We got about 25 minutes, girl. Have you been listening on the audio, Tracy? Girl, because today, mm, just it's hard listening to those babies up there. You know, yesterday one of them, he was a 8 or 9, and he was just even some of his answers were. I mean, they were adolescent. Yep, yep. You could just see him going, yep. Yeah, I guess if he was, that's what he would have been doing. And it's like they don't even know the gravity, girl, of the situation. They just answering these questions and they don't even understand. And then today we get this is what I call the bombshell. The kid in the house that said he saw the baby die. He said, I mean, oof, you haven't been listening? Okay. It's hard to hear. It really is. You have to be like, girl, I'm like, ooh, I'm glued to my screen because it's hard to hear some of the questions and stuff. But for the most part, ooh, you're there. Anyway, KGET does awesome. They get these notes out like every second. There's a new tweet coming out and they're keeping up with everything. But it gets deep today. We have um, who's this lady? Oh, a friend of Jacqueline's mother for a little while, and then it goes into the children. The biological child, the oldest one, is on the stand for most of today, and oof, I don't know. You know what? I feel bad for the jury. I mean, I know what I would say, but I just feel bad for them because the kids. It's a lot riding on these kids, and they kind of don't remember what they said before. But still, what they're saying is enough to make you go. But this boy, this baby boy, the older one, oh, I can't believe he said he's seen him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He said a lot. Let's go ahead and get into it. And if you want, baby, we can definitely chop it up afterwards or in the premiere, or you know how to find me. All right, let me take you there though, because whew, hell of a testimony. All right, let me share screen with you. And I was gonna say, and whoever else is peeking, because I see a couple more folks. But hey, Terry, Terry G2G and Nightbot in the builder. Hi, Terry. It was heartbreaking today to hear that baby say that. You okay? You've been listening. Yeah, it's really hard. It's just hard. It's hard to imagine, and then to have him keep a secret, to tell him he might lose his family. Like it's that alone incriminates them in my mind. But ooh, how's it gonna go? How's it gonna go, ladies? Let me share screen right now, entire screen. And let's get into it, and I'll be back, beautiful people.
Although the boys' bodies have not been found, the prosecution has said that evidence, including interviews with the West's other children, indicates the boys were killed in September of 2020, 3 months before the West reported them missing. The West are charged with second-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and other offenses and face life terms in prison if convicted.
The trial of Jacqueline and Trezell West resumes this morning. Trezell and Jacqueline West are charged with crimes including murder in the deaths of Classic and Sincere, also known as Orrin 4 and Orson 3, their youngest adopted children. Their bodies have not been found. Authorities say evidence indicates the boys died 3 months before they were reported missing. The West's 9-year-old biological son is back on the witness stand. He's being cross-examined by Alexia Torres-Stallings, lead counsel for Jacqueline West. A sidebar has been called. The sidebar was called after prosecutor Eric Smith objected to Torres-Stallings asking the boy where he lives now. The attorneys and judge are back, and the child is testifying to the people he lives with. Torres-Stallings is asking if other people in the home have talked about his parents. He said no, but he has seen them on TV. He said he saw them on TV once, a long time ago. The boy has talked about sleeping arrangements. He said he and some of his brothers were in the Cal City home for a long time, but he couldn't remember how long Orrin and Orson were there. The boy said Orrin and Orson would be at the dining room table and eat there with the rest of the family. Torres-Stallings has finished her questioning. On redirect, prosecutor Eric Smith asked who disciplined him and his brothers. He said no, and doesn't remember who disciplined Orrin and Orson. The boy confirmed that when asked how long Orrin and Orson lived at the Cal City home, he said he didn't know. On recross, the boy said his father would sometimes talk to him when he made a mistake, like running in the house. The boy has been excused. The next witness will be using a Spanish language interpreter. After this witness, it's expected the West's eldest biological son will take the stand. Maria Cardenas Flores has been called to the stand. She knows Maria Martinez, Jacqueline West's mother, has known her 20 years. Flores testified in December 2020 she lived at a home on Oakdale Drive. She said she doesn't recall giving items like a shelf and lumber to Trezell and Jacqueline West, doesn't remember them coming to her home. Smith asked if the West stayed at her home at some time in 2021. She said they slept over at a section all the way in the back. They stayed there about a month. Then the police came and took them out, Flores said. Smith is asking about the garage. She said she stores personal things there. Smith ended his questioning. Fatima Rodriguez, one of the attorneys representing Jacqueline West, has begun cross-examination. Flores agreed she let the West stay in her home as a favor to Jacqueline's mother. She said she never spoke with them about the case. The West slept in their car on her residence, didn't stay inside the house itself. Flores said she remembers Jacqueline and her mother coming to her house to get a bookshelf, but it didn't fit in their van. She said she didn't help them put the bookshelf in the van. Under questioning by Rodriguez, she said she didn't look in the van. Rodriguez ended her questioning. Flores has been excused. The West's eldest biological son has been called to the stand. This is the child who Smith said told police he saw Orrin die at the apartments in Bakersfield. He's 12 years old and in the 7th grade. The boy said science is his favorite subject. He said sometimes he plays with his brothers. The boy pointed out Trezell West and said that's his father, and Jacqueline West and said she's his mother. The boy testified he remembers the apartment they lived in Bakersfield. He said he remembers moving to Cal City. He said all his brothers slept in the same room. They had mattresses on the floor. Smith showed the boy a drawing the boy had made. The boy said he made it to show the sleeping arrangements of him and of his brothers at the apartment. Orrin slept next to one of the other adopted children, and Orson also slept next to another of the West adopted children, the boy said. He said the mattress went with them to Cal City. The boy said he didn't see Orrin and Orson being disciplined. He said his father spanked him if he did something bad. He said his father usually used his hand. He didn't see him spank Orrin or Orson. Smith showed the boy a photo. The boy said his dad made it, and it was kept for self-defense. It's a stick. Shown another photo, the boy said he believes it's the apartment where they lived. He said his parents bought a home in Cal City in 2020. The boy said he was excited his parents bought a home in Cal City. He said he doesn't remember how many rooms it had or how big it was. The boy recognized the house when Smith showed him a photo. The boy said everybody moved to the Cal City house, including Orrin and Orson. The boy said he remembers an incident in Bakersfield where Orrin threw up. He doesn't remember when it happened or what time of the day. He believes it was morning. The boy said he saw Orrin throwing up. He said he's not sure what happened to Orrin. He said he doesn't remember much about it. The boy said he saw vomit. He said he's not really sure what he meant when he told police Orrin's color was fading. The boy said that he's not sure if Orrin was taken somewhere while they were in the apartment in Bakersfield. Showing a picture of his room in Cal City, the boy said he slept in the top bunk. His biological brother slept in the middle, and he believes Orson slept in the bottom bunk. He said he's not sure if Orrin or Orson slept in the bottom. The boy said he was homeschooled in Cal City. Smith showed him a photo of what the boy said was their schoolroom. He said he and 3 of his brothers went to the schoolroom, not Orrin and Orson. The boy said around Christmas 2020, he remembers going to his grandmother's house. He said he doesn't remember who drove him or who was in the van. He said he remembers the police coming to his grandmother's house and being questioned. The boy said he tried to tell police the truth. Smith is going to play the video of the boy's interview with police. The boy said he recognized himself in the videos. Transcripts of the interview are being handed out to the jury. The video is playing. The boy was 10 at the time. The boy says he knows the difference between a lie and the truth. If he does something wrong at home, we get talked to by Dad, the boy said. The boy says he knows it's wrong to hurt or kill someone. He says he knows it's against the law and it's just wrong because why would you want to kill somebody? The boy says he likes being at home and has a bunch of toys. He says Orrin and Orson weren't with them when they got dropped off at his grandmother's house. He doesn't know where they got dropped off, but said his parents dropped them off a while ago. He says it was weeks ago. The boy said his parents told him they were dropping Orrin and Orson off at their grandparents'. The boy says they haven't talked to Orrin or Orson. He says he doesn't know why they went to their grandparents' house. He says he liked Orrin and Orson, but they were sort of annoying because they cried a lot. The boy says Orrin and Orson went to the Cal City house with them. The boy has clarified his answer and says Orrin went to his grandmother's house before they moved to Cal City, and Orson went after they moved. The video's over. Smith is continuing to question the boy. The boy said he doesn't remember telling the officer the boys had been gone for weeks. He said he remembers a little bit talking with another person after the officer. He said he doesn't remember what type of questions she asked. The interview the boy had with the person will be played by Smith. Transcripts are being provided to the jury. The video is about 20 minutes long. The video has begun. A woman enters the frame and says she'll be interviewing the boy and gives the time and date. The woman leaves, then returns with the boy, who takes a seat on a chair while the woman sits on a couch. The woman asks him to tell her about his dog, which he does. He gives descriptions of 3 dogs. The boy talked about being at his grandmother's house. He says his parents dropped him off at his grandmother's house on the 19th. The woman asks where Orrin and Orson are. The boy says at their grandmother's house. He says they went there before this month. He says his parents told him the boys were at their grandparents' house. He says the boys weren't around for Thanksgiving or Halloween. He says he believes they left after they moved. The boy says he doesn't remember what month they moved to Cal City. The boy said Orrin and Orson were around for his birthday in June and were there in July for one of his brother's birthdays. He says Orrin and Orson went to their grandmother's house a couple of days after we moved. The boy says he hasn't seen Orrin or Orson since then. He says his parents didn't tell him how long the boys were going to stay with their grandmother. The woman steps out of the room. She returns and continues asking questions. The boy agrees it's long for Orrin and Orson to be at their grandmother's house. He says his parents didn't say why the boys went there. Why do you think I'm asking you questions about Orson and Orrin? The woman asks. I don't know, the boy says. The woman finishes her questioning and leaves the room. Smith stopped the video. Court is in recess for 15 minutes. Court is back in session. The 12-year-old biological son is still on the stand. He's being questioned by prosecutor Eric Smith. The boy said he doesn't really remember that much, doesn't really remember Orrin and Orson going to their grandmother's. The boy said he doesn't remember what his parents told him about Orrin and Orson coming back. Smith is asking the child to look at the transcript of the interview and what he said back then. The boy said his parents told him Orrin and Orson would return after spending time at the grandmother's house. Smith is directing the boy to another part of the transcript and asking him to read it. The boy said he was asked to put a time as to when Orrin and Orson went to their grandmother's, and he said it happened a couple days after they moved. The boy read another part of the transcript at Smith's behest. He said his answer when asked if he had seen the boys after they went to their grandmother's was no. Smith is going to play a video of a second interview the boy had with the woman. The first interview occurred December 22nd, 2020. The second one on December 28th, 2020. Attorney Timothy Hennessy has asked for a sidebar, and the judge and attorneys are leaving the room. They have returned. The video will be played. Transcripts are being passed out. The video is playing. The boy enters the same room as before and has a seat in the chair, while the woman who previously interviewed him has a seat on the couch. The boy says he's been crying because he's been taken away from his parents. He says it's because Orrin and Orson are missing. He says Orrin choked while he was sleeping. He says it happened at the apartment they lived in Bakersfield. The boy says Orrin was throwing up. The next morning, his parents found Orrin, he says. His parents told him about it and asked him if they should keep it a secret. Orrin had taken Orson's drink. Nothing happened to him. They just went to bed, the boy says. He says he saw Orrin the next morning. The boy says Orrin was on his belly in the morning and they realized he had choked when his parents tried to wake him up. The boy says his parents were crying when they told him about Orrin. The boy says Orrin's color was fading when he saw him. He says his parents asked him if they should call an ambulance, and he told them no because his parents said he would be taken away. The boy says he doesn't know what happened to Orrin after that. He says his parents told the other boys Orrin went to their grandmother's to keep it a secret from the others. The boy says he touched Orrin's body and it was cold. The boy says Orson went to Cal City with them. He says he thinks Orrin died a week before they moved and that Orson was taken to his grandmother's house 4 days after the move. He says Orson never came back. He says he was asleep when his parents took Orson. The boy says sometimes his parents used their hands to smack the boys or a paddle stick. He says he got hit with it once. Everyone got hit with it. He says they deserved it. One of the children, not Orrin or Orson, was forced to take cold showers if he peed while sleeping, the boy says. The boy says his parents chopped up Orrin's food using a blender, then put it in a bottle. They didn't want him chewing with his mouth open, he says. Orrin later stole Orson's drink. Then they went to bed, the boy says. The boy says his parents told Orson to punch Orrin for stealing the drink. He says he thinks Orson punched Orrin, but he wasn't there. Then they all went to sleep and he heard noises but thought it was normal because Orrin and Orson always made noises, the boy said. Orrin was dead the next day. The woman steps out of the room. The woman returns. The boy says he doesn't know what his parents did with Orrin. The woman is asking him about the placements of the beds in the room. The boy says he was excited when they moved to the new house in California City. He says there was a bunk bed for Orrin in the house because his parents didn't want to let the others know what had happened to him. The woman gets a water for the boy and asks more questions. The boy talks about wondering why the police showed up to his grandmother's house. He says he thought the original parents called police because they thought something happened to Orrin and Orson. The boy says he saw Orson months ago. The video has ended. Court is in recess until 1:35 p.m. The trial of Trezell and Jacqueline West is back in session, with the West's eldest child on the stand being questioned by prosecutor Eric Smith. With Smith referring him to the transcript of the interview played before the afternoon break, the boy said Orrin choked and there was vomit coming out of his mouth. The boy said he had gone to schoolroom and came back and his mom and dad were in the room. He said he's not sure if his parents said anything about Orrin. He said he doesn't remember what happened next. Probably, yeah, the boy said when asked if he was scared. He said he, his parents, and Orson were in the room. The boy said he doesn't recall having a conversation with his parents about calling an ambulance. After looking at the transcript, the boy said he didn't think an ambulance should be called because the police would show up. I was scared of losing my family, he said. He said he was afraid he and his brothers would be removed from the home. The boy said his parents told him it was a possibility they would be removed. He said they agreed to keep Orrin's death a secret, but doesn't remember much about it. He said he didn't tell his other brothers what had happened. I didn't want them to be scared, he said. He said his parents told him Orrin was dead. Asked if his parents tried to revive Orrin, perform CPR, he said, I believe it was something like that. He said they didn't call 911. They had cell phones. The boy was homeschooled. He said he went back to class after being told Orrin was dead. As the oldest child, he said he thinks his parents trusted him. He said he agreed to keep the death a secret. The boy said he had lots of things to do as a kid, so Orrin's death usually didn't come to mind. I'm not sure, he said, when asked if it was fair for his parents to tell him not to say anything about Orrin's death. I have no idea, the boy said when asked what happened to Orrin's body. He said he didn't ask, and his parents didn't tell him. The boy said he doesn't remember saying Orson left after 4 days at the Cal City house. He said his parents told him Orson went to Grandma's house. He said he believes it happened in the days after they moved to Cal City. Orson wasn't at the house when his grandmother Wanda came out to Cal City, the boy said. The boy said he heard a sound the night before he was told Orson was taken to Grandma Maria's house. He said it sounded like a soap bottle falling in the bathroom. Orson wasn't at the house the day after he heard that sound, and he hasn't seen him since, the boy said. The boy said he saw an interview with his parents on TV. He identified a still image of the West taken from an interview outside the Cal City house in the days after the boy's disappearance. The boy said he watched some of the interview. He said he knew Orrin was dead at the time. He said he doesn't really remember what he thought when he saw his dad lying on camera about what had happened. Asked by Smith, the boy said he has good memories of his parents in Cal City, other than what happened with Orrin and Orson. Smith is about to play another video. The video shows the boy and two of his older brothers pretending to do kung fu. The boy said he has good memories, and it's hard for him to be on the stand and tell the truth. Smith ended his questioning, and attorney Alexia Torres Stallings has begun cross-examination. The boy said he had pizza for lunch. He said he thinks he had met Smith more than 5 times. The boy said no one had him read anything or talk to him about his testimony before he came back for the afternoon session of the trial. He said no one talked to him about why he was coming to court. He said Smith had previously talked to him, he thinks last week, about what he was going to be doing. The boy said Smith told him he was going to ask him questions, and if he didn't know the answers, just say so. The boy said he has previously been in a courtroom and people asked him questions. The boy said he took an oath on that occasion too. Asked what a mistake is, the boy said it's when you do something and you mess up in a way that's not helping the situation. He said an example would be if you broke something, then buy something to replace it. Tori Stallings is asking about memories. The boy agreed with her that sometimes it's hard to remember something that happened a long time ago. Tori Stallings is asking about the coronavirus. The boy said he had gone to school before COVID hit. He said afterward, when he was home for remote learning, his mom helped him and kept him on track. The boy said he doesn't have a favorite memory of his mother or father. He said he's not mad at his parents. The boy, now 12, and the biological son of the West, said he lived with them for 10 years. Tori Stallings showed him a photo. The boy said he believes he remembers that day. They went to the park, had Little Caesars. Tori Stallings showed him another photo where a filter made it appear as if he were wearing an elf hat. The boy said he doesn't remember that. The boy is wiping at his eyes with a tissue and taking sips of water. Tori Stallings brought 2 Christmas stockings for the boy to look at. He said he doesn't recognize them. The boy said he remembers helping set up the Christmas tree. He said Orrin and Orson weren't there to put up the tree, but his other brothers were. Tori Stallings is showing the boy photos of Christmas stockings and chairs in the Cal City house in December 2020. She's showing there were stockings and chairs for everyone, including Orrin and Orson. Asked if Orrin and Orson were there at the dinner table, the boy said no. Tori Stallings is asking about things the boy enjoys. He said he used to watch anime with his dad. He plays video games. Judge Charles Brimmer has called a sidebar after Smith objected to the relevance of Tori Stallings' questions. The judge and attorneys have returned. Tori Stallings is continuing with questions about anime shows. Tori Stallings is asking if people died in a certain show. There have been frequent objections by Smith. The boy said people do die in the show. Asked if they had anything coming out of their nose or mouth, the boy said no. Tori Stallings was asking about a scene where a character dies, has things coming out of his mouth and nose, and comes back to life. She was apparently trying to draw a comparison with Orrin, who the boy said had vomit on him, and suggesting Orrin hadn't died. Brimmer sustained an objection, and Tori Stallings has moved on to another line of questioning. She's asking the boy about being questioned at his grandma Wanda's house the day after the boys were reported missing. The boy said he hasn't lived with his parents since then and doesn't know when he last saw them. He said maybe a year. The boy said he doesn't know why he can't talk to or live with them. The boy said he had a watch which he used to call his parents, but he couldn't take it when he left his grandmother's house. The boy's talking about relatives he sometimes gets visits or phone calls from. Tori Stallings is asking about the day of December 28, 2020 interview. He said he doesn't think they told him why he was going there. Tori Stallings is asking if anyone talked with him about the case, if he saw any coverage. He said he saw an interview on a laptop, but doesn't remember about the comments or so much about it. Court is in recess for 15 minutes. Court is back in session with a 12-year-old back on the stand being cross-examined by Tori Stallings. She's asking about when they moved to Cal City. There were multiple objections and the judge has called a sidebar. They're back. Tori Stallings is asking about December 2020 and when he went to his grandma Wanda's house. The boy said Orrin and Orson were not in the van. He said he doesn't remember the last time he saw them and doesn't remember saying the last time he saw them as being in the van when dropped off at his grandma's house. Tori Stallings had him look at a transcript taken from a prior time he testified. He said he doesn't remember saying that Orrin and Orson were in the van. Tori Stallings asked if he promised to tell the truth at that hearing. He said he believes so. He said he doesn't know why he said they were in the van back then, but is now saying they weren't. Tori Stallings ended her questioning, and the boy has been excused. Court is in recess until 9 a.m. tomorrow. That was a lot, man. Seriously, like those babies, those little babies, especially the 12-year-old. He was 10. He knows what he's saying. I think if he didn't, I mean, not that he didn't, but if he was a little, then I don't think so anymore. 12, you're pretty mature enough to know that a kid was there and then it wasn't, and then you saw a kid throw up. Like these are not. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or an adult to to remember this, to know this. So I'm hoping the jury is not like disregarding them too much. I guess that's my fear. Some of them going, these kids don't even remember. They might be drawing off, like the lady said, anime and stuff. She was trying to throw in a little reasonable doubt. I don't think so either, Tracy. I don't think so either. I definitely don't think he's lying. Why would he? And again, like he said the same thing. And why would he make, how could he even think of that? Like, just one day his brain just was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to say he was in the bed and he threw up. Like, that's crazy. It even went to the next morning. So the baby died overnight? Is that what they're? Yeah. Hi, Opal. It was. I knew yesterday when they put the kid on, I was like, oh, here we go. Like, here we go. But this baby, I mean, he said it. He said it. And he's a witness to both. And then they had a conversation with him. He says, they trusted me. Excuse me, because I was the oldest. I promised I would keep it a secret. Like, why would they make him promise that? That's just crazy. Maybe they just really believed he wouldn't tell. But I'm trying to figure out, especially considering they did this at two separate times. Hold on, y'all. I gotta clear my throat. Sorry. I was trying to hit the mute and trying to get started at the same time. But they did this to two kids at two different times. What did they do? Because I mean, I'm assuming whatever they did with the first baby, they went and took the second one there, saying, "Shut up, Tracy." um, what do they do with them? Like, is there a little burial ground somewhere? And when did they do it? And how were they so off the radar? Now, Jacqueline got a new phone, threw away her SIM card, ironically. Like, there's got to be a way to trace these people's steps, that carbon footprint, that metadata. that John Q loves to talk about. There's got to be a way. Same thing with Summer. All these cases, I'm just like, these people didn't disappear. So get me started on my rant, y'all, because I don't understand. I don't know what they could have done. Like twice, you did it twice, and we can't find a trace of breadcrumb. Nothing. I feel like that's got to change. Somebody somewhere saw a suspicious something, right? Car data. Give us something. Two babies. They did it twice. One of those trips had to be caught on somebody's camera. Damn it. And we know that's a whole other nutshell. You gotta see the cause of death, and then you gotta, but still, we would know. We would know if it's poisoning, because Terry, you're right. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. Blending up his food, and then the vomiting, and it's untraceable. There would be no blood. There would be no blood, and without his body, so that they could see the trace of the poison, can't hold him to that. Exactly, Opal. Exactly. And then I know I've been saying that since it happened. It's impossible. Knew that for a fact. Two babies, just especially magically out of the yard, same time. Now they already confirmed. Like week one, the prosecution came out the gate saying, they didn't do this at the same time. So that makes it even worse. And I keep saying, like, one of the charges should be, I mean, it was premeditated. Seems like you didn't act, even if the first one was an accident. Oh, well, because you effed up when you didn't call 911. But even if that happened accidentally, yeah, the second time was an accident too. Come on. How? I just need one scenario where two babies came up missing accidentally at different times. But we can't find one. Me, my messenger? Okay. Okay, Opal. I will. I shall. Oh, Lord, it's stressing me out. With the judge, he said they should be done in like 2 weeks about. And he was guesstimating, and I'm like, I don't know. It can always go either way with a trial. Exactly, Tracy. Here we go. Like I said before, a couple days ago, I thought this was their ace in the hole, but they wouldn't, excuse me, they gotta have something else. They know that the jury can't just lean on the teeter and tottering of the kids. It can, damn it, my throat. Y'all hold on. Hold on. Okay. I don't know what else it is that they have. It's interesting that they pulled out pictures of the stick. Y'all, we remember the stick. We talked about that stick because it was just weird. He was always walking around with him. We thought it had a. I'm gonna leave it alone. I ain't gonna start back up with the guys. But that's interesting that they brought that up. Maybe it'll come back up because what about the stick? It can't be anything really like, because I mean they would have DNA. Sorry, I thought my cat was trying to get in. They would have DNA if it was something with a stick, but why bring the stick up? Where'd that come from? Oh my God! Exactly. At least one, if not both. Based on what we're hearing, though, they didn't want those kids no more. And from what the CPS guy said the other day, mm, that's your bad. They don't really have a system where you can give them back. So, and that sucks because their mama wanted them back. So, shouldn't have really been an issue where they're forced to be somewhere where they're not wanted when they have biological. We're not even gonna start with the system because that's why she's suing. That's what that is. So yeah, what's gonna come out, Tracy? They've gotta have something. The phone pings. God, what? I can't even think of what else they could have, but they gotta have something. Let's see. Opal said the fact they made their own flesh and blood swear to secrecy and then made him choose if they should call an ambulance is beyond evil. Right. Oh, I didn't even really put that part like, oh, Opal, like for real. Imagine him sitting. Mm, they're telling him like, okay, we'll call if you think we should call. We'll call, but it might take you away from us. That is so that's gonna really be something he's gotta heal from. Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be ooh. Because it's kind of like, well, if I would have said we should call the ambulance, oh, I hope he never ever thinks that because that is what they did to him. Mm. And exactly, Tracy, you said it earlier. I'm glad he didn't keep that secret. I'm glad he. Oh my God. I told y'all this every time. This case reminds me of Summer and those boys. I feel like same sort of deal was made. Same sort of shh. They're gonna take you guys if you say something. Let me take a deep breath. Hearing a child passed out at home and being covered up is definitely a guilty verdict for both. Period. This kid is saying this happened, and this baby is not here anymore. One plus one is two. Two people in prison for life. Period. Yes. End of story right there, Terry. Period. They should have just stopped the trial and been like, for real? Like, we got to do. But the justice system, right? What, in what world, y'all, can you think of they didn't do this? I think that's how you know there won't be any reasonable doubt. Because I can't think of anything else that could have happened to two babies. Even without little man saying what he said today. I gotta fix these little shorts, y'all. They trying to do a little thing. Okay, let me stretch out. Ooh, okay. You remember the stick, Opal? Mm-hmm. They showed the little boy a picture of it today. I think that's interesting because they don't just do stuff in trials. There's a reason that stick was brought into play. Extremely, extremely. I hadn't even thought about it that deep. Tracy, excuse me. My thing is, why would those kids lie? If Jackie and Trezell didn't do anything, and who knows, they could have been mistreated too. It's true. They could still be scared. That's why the cop Ryan told him, they're not going back with you. We got to make sure it's safe. Because imagine realizing your parents are murderers. That'd be a little scary for me. And you told on them. Oh, I don't never want to go back. I'm good. I don't trust them now. Oh, to hell with them not trusting me. I would never be comfortable again. Bless his heart. And he was saying he didn't even understand why he can't go back and live with them. Even now. You don't realize. They don't realize. They're just kids, man. They caught up in a real live murder trial. Jesus. They put that guilt and fear on him, that poor baby. Yep, they did. They did. And it sucks so bad. Yeah. You know what, Opal? You know what? See, here's the thing, because I be getting heated all the time. I get so heated all the time. 9 times out of 10 is with the defense, because usually they're defending. When they're defending these pieces of shit. Sorry, I can't find no sugar to coat it with. I just, it's like, oh, but then I have to remember they got a job. They got a job to do. But then you look at some of them, like even some of the lawyers for the school shooters and any of them really, and they look so, and maybe that's part of the job. Maybe they're real good actors, but they look like they believe them. They look like, I mean, I guess they just want to. I want to say they just want to win, but like I said, they look like they really believe and they're really down with this crap. Like this Alexia Torres Stallings and oh, what's the other one? Fatima. They sound like they really feel like y'all got the wrong people and y'all trying to run game on them or something. Like the state is trying to make it look like they did something when they really didn't. They seem like they believe it. How? Two women? Or again, are they just good actors? It's just what we do when we. I don't know. I really don't. I feel you. Oh, I feel you, honey. I get so mad. Oh, okay, let me see. Sorry, I was getting distracted. Man. Oh, man. I mean, are they going to testify? I don't think they have mentioned whether or not they're going to testify or not. But they did play videos of the interrogation. I don't really hear too much Trezell, but Jacqueline, and she just don't know. That's all her thing is. She don't know. I don't. They were in the backyard. They were in the backyard. That's all. Everything else y'all saying, that's her story. It's actually insane. After all these years, that's all she really still got to say. But they did play that. I don't know. I hope they do too. I mean, they put these kids on the stand. They need to put them on the stand. Make them sweat. Make them sweat for real. And you got to tell us more than you was outside gathering wood and all that bullshit. I mean, we got to be far beyond that by now. I am. I'm sick of hearing that. I'm still trying to figure out the connection to these dang puppies they keep bringing up. Right? They did. I didn't know if they were just trying to gauge, like, the kids' ability to describe things or remember things by asking about the puppies, because that would be something specific. Otherwise, I mean, the dogs didn't bark. That's one thing. Just like the whales, the dogs didn't bark. So there's that. But yeah, they brought up the neighbors when they did it yesterday. It was Jacqueline's attorney. She's always trying to put a twist. She's the same one that did the BS with the baby today with the anime thing. She tries to, and I guess that's just her job to drop little turds and try to put that reasonable doubt out there. But she was talking about men walking around with an AK-47 on the block, and she done threw in a couple of mystery individuals, I guess, just enough stuff to say, or maybe this happened. And she's just getting on my nerves, actually. Yeah, Orson spent the whole trial he did. Seriously, ooh. As I listen to it, and then when I read the notes, it's just like, yeah, 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 that happened. And all the in betweens, though, that you hear, like, that's summed up into 25 minutes, but that's hours of testimony that goes on. So, those poor babies. Oh my God, how many times I heard, I don't remember. I don't remember. No, they don't freaking remember. It was years ago. I mean, damn, it's hard enough for the adults to come on to remember some of the stuff. So just they're going through it. Those kids, I mean, they got snatched out of their home, and he's too young to know it, but he's gonna hate it later. But he was loving it. He said he had a good home, plenty of toys to play with. So many toys he didn't even think about the baby dying. Oof. And they probably did that on purpose. Tried to spoil him, buy him. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Child is not going to testify that he touched that baby and he was cold. Yeah. Then the a-holes telling him that he passed. That alone sealed it guilty. Right. Oh my God, they told him he died. They really had trust in this little boy. And then they told him what? He went to grandma. So either way, y'all took him out of the picture. Excuse me. You removed him. Why? If he was still very much alive, why did he need to be dead or at grandma's? Why would you have any of those conversations with them? Guilty. That's what I'm saying. The trial's like over in my mind, but they gotta have more. They gotta have more because I mean they're still going. And like I said, Jacqueline's people, Trezell's people, they just want to discredit everybody, create reasonable doubt, and maybe hope. I don't know if they want a mistrial. I don't know what they want, but they don't have any evidence to say that they didn't do anything to them. Like they're trying to get the kids to say that they were in the van when they said they weren't. They're trying to put them back in the house. They're trying to put them. I heard one of the excuse me, one of the lawyers talking on one of these shows, and they said that basically, you know, to win a case like this, all they have to really do is put those boys in California City because the state went so hard. Excuse me. State went so hard to prove that they were never there, and that's why we know they're deceased. So the attorneys are saying if they can just prove that, yeah, they were there, then it's kind of like everything else, y'all whole case just falls apart. I don't know if it's that easy. But that's what they were saying when they were chopping it up. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maria Brain. I never heard that. No, nothing. Excuse me. I wonder if Jacqueline and Trezell, because who else we got? They've done pretty much the whole block, the neighbors. They've done Jacqueline's mom. They did Trezell's dad. I wonder if they're going to do Trezell's mom. We talked about that the other day, but I mean, How could she get out of this? But not dad. They did his brother. They did Jacqueline's sister. They have to have grandma coming. What's up? Y'all think they're gonna have grandma? Yeah, they did. Oh boy, and they also asked about TT a lot. Do y'all remember TT? Tracy, do you remember TT? I kept feeling like I heard that name too, but I don't know where. Like, was she around in these YouTube streets with everything going on? I feel like there was a TT. That's why there has to be more because they didn't throw out too many little tidbits, and they're gonna have to make it make sense because the jury's taking notes too, just like we're chopping it up. They might not be able to do it with each other. I don't know how that really works, but in their own mind, they can say, "Yeah, well, TT." And this is being brought up by the boys' attorney. So, who is TT? Terry said, "There's no reasonable doubt if you have 6 children and 2 adopted brothers are the only ones that disappear. Common sense and most baby's testimony tells it all." I agree. I swear I agree. But it is some. Listen, I can't remember what trial it was, but this was not too long ago, and oh my God, what trial? I can't remember right now. But the guy, they talked to one of the jurors after, and they asked him, why? When you really, because everybody decided afterwards that they felt like the guy really should, he did it or should have gone down for it, something along those lines. So they asked him, like, well, why did you say not guilty? And he said, because they told us, and he's talking about the judge's rules that they give you and stuff. He said they told us that it's not enough that we just think or feel or believe. It's like if we can't find something that really proves that, if everything we find doesn't prove that this person is innocent or guilty, then they got to be innocent. And it was like, that's horrible. And he was fine with it. He's like, I understand that it should have went this way, but it's going this way because it's basically freaking politics. Basically is what I'm saying. It gets down to the paperwork and the politics, and next thing you know, they're like, but we just don't have proof they did something to him. We just don't have proof. I just hope it's enough, y'all. I really do. I really do. Let's see. How about today when he said he didn't have a good memory? Oh, that was, yeah. Yesterday, one of them said it too. He was like, I don't know. Then one said making bread. It's like they try to make it like they were this big happy family, but I'm not seeing it. It's giving weird. The whole family dynamic just don't feel right, especially now. Hey, Chad's wife. Excuse me, y'all. I scrolled up to catch the comments, so I'm just not catching up. Oh, I'm late. Look at that. That was 7:35. Chad's wife. Let's put that up there. I can't see it. I think the defense keeps asking about the puppies because they're going to say the boys wandered to see them. Oh, they might try that. Beep, beep, beep. They might try that. The boys ain't wandered nowhere. They need to cut it out. But Miss Lexia Torres Stallings, she'll try it. She's something else. She will try it. So, yep, that makes sense. Oh, I really want Wanda on that stand. Why wouldn't they put her on there though? Because you know what? Miss Wanda, and I know they know, because we know Miss Wanda said something very critical. Oh, I know y'all remember that. Let me see if I can find. Where is it? On my YouTube? Hold on, y'all. Oh, yes. Do y'all remember this? When Miss Wanda, if they don't put her on the stand, if nothing else but to just ask her, what you mean by this? Something ain't right. Hold on. I'm going to stop this camera and pull this clip up because Miss Wanda had me like, she had us all tripping. This is from Crenshaw Incorporated when she was out there, boots on the ground, and she went up to Miss Wanda's house. And they were just, they've been real nice, asking some questions, and somebody came out and started recording her back. But let's go playlist. But Miss Wanda told her, "You got it right, but you got it all wrong." I think is what she said, which was very, very weird. Hold on, let me see. Where's my boys at? Oh, there they are. Okay. It's a very short clip, but excuse me, y'all. I know damn well they know about this clip, and I know they wanted to know what does she mean by that. Here it is. It's 33 seconds. Hold on, I gotta pause it. Shit, shoot. Sorry, y'all. I went backwards. No renew. Pause. Okay, y'all. Here I come. Okay. I said pause. It's 33 seconds long, and you might remember it already. I couldn't see any comments, so if you were saying that you remember. Okay, hold on. Right, Opal, right. Wonder. I wonder. All right, here, let me pull this up. Let me share my screen. Because what was she talking about, y'all? It's 33 seconds. You got to listen. I'll replay it a couple times. Did I get out? Because you're going to hear all my. Where's my. Let me mute out. All right, here we go.
So, would you be, I'm not sure, willing to speak about the babies that are missing or anything of the sort, or if you guys are. Huh? Okay. What? Okay, we can, I guess, film each other. Okay. Well, thank you. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. They were only 3 and 4 years old. I mean, okay. So, would you be, I'm not sure, willing to speak about the babies that are missing or anything of the sort, or if you guys are. Huh? Okay. What? Okay, we can, I guess, film each other. Okay. Well, thank you. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. They were only 3 and 4 years old. I mean, okay.
Y'all remember that? You got it right, but you got it wrong. Mm-hmm. Let me go down to the bottom in case I. Right. Uh huh. Yeah, that's what she said, Terry. Because what? I thought so hard about that. I was like, you got it right, but you got it wrong, but you got it. Because what we were all thinking was Jacqueline and Trezell did something to him. So we got that right, but we got that wrong, but we got it right. And then I started thinking, well, maybe she's saying, it's Jacqueline. Somebody did something, but it ain't my son. You got it right, but you got it wrong. They gotta want to know what the hell she was talking about, though. No? Yeah. Wacky one. Come on, Grandma. What's up? What was she saying right there? Did she? Oh, well, don't make. Okay. See? Oh, well, we gotta go back. I didn't hear that. Are you sure? Let's just bring it back. Let's just bring it back because. Sorry for what? Sorry for what? Okay, let me bring this back. Let me just. Did I share it already? Wait a minute, y'all. Let me mute out. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna mute. Sorry for what?
So, would you be, I'm not sure, willing to speak about the babies that are missing or anything of the sort, or if you guys are. You're doing what you're doing. Huh? Okay. What? Okay, we can, I guess, film each other. Okay. Well, thank you. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. They were only 3 and 4 years old. You got it right, but you got it wrong. But you got it. I mean, okay. Okay. Hey.
Holy shit. She said it. She said that. Oh my God. Yes, Terry. I heard it too. Honey, I was, Opal, I was like this. I have my, look, wow. You're going to be sorry too. For what? Oh, Miss Wanda got to take the stand. Oh, Miss Wanda got to take the stand. You think you got it. This time I heard it. You think you got it right, but you got it wrong, but you got it. And you're gonna be sorry too. Oh boy. Wow. I never even heard that. She trails off at the end. I did not. You all over it. I love it. Because now I'm like, what? Why would she be sorry? She didn't even know that girl. That woman. It's a grown ass woman. Why would she be sorry? Was it like a low key threat? Or is it a did they trying to make my head hurt. That's what they trying to do. Miss Wanda got to take the stand though, y'all. For me, that right there, if I'm an officer, I want to talk to her. I want to ask you a few questions about that statement you made that day. And they know because Alexia Torres Stallings, Jacqueline's attorney, she brought up AV Watchman when she was questioning a witness. So they know about these channels and where these people have been on. And they know. They've seen the footage. I know they know about Crenshaw because she was all over it. I hope they've seen that clip because what does that mean? I want to know where these boys are, y'all. It's the 2nd of May. So sorry. If we're lucky, I think the judge said maybe, did he say May 15th? The jury might get the case, and then I don't know how long they're gonna deliberate. They might feel they might need a minute. I don't know. You never know. Sometimes they go in that room and they already know what they want to do. Bottom line is, these babies disappeared on these two people's watch, and they have no explanation for it. See, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Because I want to say, and that should be a crime, but ultimately, that's not necessarily a crime. Even when they called into, when the police called CPS that night, the CPS worker that was on the stand said she put it down as general neglect. Did y'all hear me? The babies were gone. They vanished. They disappeared on mama and daddy's watch. CPS titled it, labeled it, whatever they called it, general neglect. That's fucking general? I mean, I would think general would be like not fixing breakfast till 1 o'clock. Okay, you slept in. Yeah. Man, that's general neglect because they still ate, but they ate late then. The babies disappeared, and that's what she did. She wrote that down while they were missing. But see, the CPS lady also, she also got rid of all her notes, which is weird. And she said they don't require them to keep them, which makes sense. But these babies were missing. So it seemed like they would have a different rule in place that would require them to keep them, or if she just might decide maybe I should keep these notes. But she was damn near rude when she was on the stand. Like, don't ask me about my paperwork. Normally we don't even testify. Like, she was not much help because they're all defensive because everybody's always saying CPS, 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 but CPS. It's not our fault that they're overworked. It's damn sure not these babies' fault. Anyway. Oh, Lordy. Well, it's already started, the premiere on for you guys. But I just do that so that it can hit the algorithm because YouTube, their algorithm is like weird. It's very weird. So um, it's there, and all the days preceding it are there. And we will be back here tomorrow. What did you say, Opal? Hold on. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Then Wanda said she had never been to the Cal City home, but on the stand, that baby clearly stated today that Wanda came to watch the four boys while JT took care of it. That is true. That is very true. It's just ridiculous, man. Like, look, that's what the kids really cracked the case. And that's why that heifer tried to go so hard on that baby today. She went a little too hard. People on Twitter didn't like that. They were actually going off a little bit about her. They were saying she was gaslighting the baby boy because she kept saying so he would answer his questions. I don't know. And don't get me wrong, y'all. Seriously, yesterday I started feeling like somebody talk to these kids because all of a sudden it was I don't know. I don't remember. That was what they were saying. I don't remember. And they were saying it. It really seemed coached. It did. I am not gonna lie. And that's when they were. That's when the good guys, our people, were testifying. I mean, were oh my god, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to say. But okay, we'll stick with that. Testifying, okay. But today, when the ops were doing their thing, and it wasn't lining up because the kids were saying, I don't know, I don't remember. I didn't really feel no kind of way. I was just like, yeah, they don't remember. They're kids. But truthfully, it was the same scenario. They really don't remember a lot of this stuff. But she did go in and what she did was the same thing they did to my ex-husband. To be honest, in the in family court, they knew he was lying. Okay, and I'm not saying the boy was lying. She might, I will say she thought he was lying, but the judge knew this one was lying. So she stopped him mid sentence and she said, I'm going to go ahead and swear you in. And she had him put his hand on his Bible and then she re asked the question and she got a different answer. So what this lady did today was every time the baby would say, I don't remember too many times, she'd be like, but you said it here, right? And she said, let me show you. And she'd show him the transcript and she'd say, do you remember now? And he would say, no, I don't remember. Like, I still don't. I see it, but, you know, especially he was 10, like, but then she would say, you do remember, when you had to swear to God or, that you would tell the truth or something like that. You had to do that before, right? Like, you remember when you did that. She kept saying that to him. So people felt like she was gaslighting. Like, it was definitely given, like, don't do that. Don't do that to that baby. Like, basically accusing him of not telling the truth indirectly. That's pretty much what it seemed like she was trying to do. And that's not cool. Because he did do the same thing. Well, not him, but the other kid did the same thing yesterday when Eric Smith was trying to prove that the boys were not there. The baby kept saying, same baby that said for sure they never slept in that bed. Yesterday he was saying, I think sometimes, maybe Orrin and Orson, Orrin or Orson. He just got real confusing, and he was just like, I think maybe. And Eric Smith said, well, do you remember testifying before that you never saw them in the bed? And he said, I don't know. It was the same thing. And so, and Eric Smith is really good about not beating him up. It's like, okay, that's testimony. It's going to be what it is at the end of the day. They did. They scared him into silence, but I think that law enforcement has gone worked real hard to make sure they understand we got your back. Tell us everything you know. We got your back. You ain't got to never, worry about it. I think they've done that pretty good, especially that one Ryan, because he. I think that was like can't remember what day it was, but Ryan was on the stand. Oh Lord, he ate Jacqueline up. He's been my favorite so far. You're welcome, Terry G2G. Feed your family. Yummy. Save me something. At least dessert. Don't rub it in my face like that. And have a good night too, sweetheart. Yeah, so I was telling you guys that yeah, it's posted for you already. So you can go replay it without having to go through all of this unless you like seeing a little chit chat. It's there, they're all there. And they're in the Orrin and Orson playlist with all their other videos from the beginning. Oh, Jesus, Lord, Mary, and Joseph. I just want to know where they are. I guess I could definitely end it on a different note. I mean, the same note, but let's see. Let me see something. I get the urge to just see. I just want to slap the taste out their mouth, you know? I really do. Okay, good. It premiered. All right, let me just see if I can pull this up real quick. We'll see it together. Oh, you know what? I might have it. Oh, here we go. Oh, I thought that the December 19th video was pretty damning too, because you can't just have those four kids getting in the car like that either. So I think that's going to be another big, big, big deal. Oh, girl. Ooh, ooh, Opal. I'm talking about. Let me drag her ass to the. Oh, girl. Lion ass. Oh, Trezell too. He can get it. I got somebody for him. You got me heated just thinking about it, Opal. Oh, um, the surveillance from the 19th. Seriously, like 4 kids got in. You paying? You silly girl. I will slap her so hard. I mean, just based on get the fuck out of here. What? Where are these babies? It's about to be 3 real years like this, and you. It's unacceptable. She deserves that. She definitely deserves life, since they don't want to do nothing else. But I wish we could find them and get the whole story, so that they could really pay. But I'll take it. As long as they get locked up, I'll take it. Um, Let me just piss you guys off a little bit more before we go. Check it out.
And leading our newscast at noon, 162 days now since California's City two boys were reported missing. The Bakersfield Police Department tweeted within the hour, quote, "This is not a cold case," as we show you some video here. 4-year-old Orrin and 3-year-old Orson West disappeared back in December. The Bakersfield Police Department is the lead agency in charge of the search and investigation. Now, BPD announced up until this point, the department has seized 170 items, conducted 44 search warrants, led 16 mass area searches in addition to 3 searches outside of California. BPD has received more than 200 tips in this case. There's a reward of $125,000 for information leading to the boys. Now, if you have any information, call the secret witness line at 322-4040.
For anyone who doesn't know about this case, these are the 2 toddlers that have been missing from California City, California since December 21st, allegedly. Really still don't know. But here's a little.
For all the support we've seen, we've felt so helpless. And seeing everybody out here really looking and helping out really means a lot. So, tell us what happened the night this kid went missing.
Okay.
From our yard.
It was cold. I was gonna make a fire. So a lot of wood in this area right here next to our house. I opened up the back gate. I'm throwing wood, bringing it inside the house. My wife's inside. She was actually wrapping gifts, so we thought it was a good idea that our youngest 2 go outside and play with chalk on the back patio. Do not let them go on the dirt in the backyard. And keep them close. So I was playing with chalk, and I came in the house. I saw them there. I went in the house. I came back out. I didn't see them now. I immediately went back in, asked my wife, "Did you see the boys?" She said, "No, they should be outside playing with chalk." I said, "Well, I didn't see them." So I came back outside and I started searching my backyard. I searched the whole thing. I realized that I left the gate open and I panicked, came inside the house, searched the house, me and my wife. Once that didn't pan out, I got in the van. I looked down the street, both directions. It was getting dark, getting cold, and I got in the van and I hit a bunch of corners. I went down this street. I turned my light on. I searched. I called their names. Talked to a gentleman on the street on the other side over there. He didn't see me. So then I came home and I told my wife, "We need to call the cops. It's getting dark and I need help. We gotta get going." So I called the cops. Cops came. First thing they did was tell us to stay in the house so they can get a hold of us. And they had us just sitting there, and we wanted to keep searching. But everybody came out in droves, and I wanted to thank you guys that night, but we couldn't go outside.
The cops told us the best are out here.
The best are out here searching, and we appreciate it. And nobody ever could tell. We could never talk to anybody, and that was the issue.
We just want to thank everybody.
We really want to
And
thank you guys.
please, if anybody has seen them, please call. Let somebody know.
It called the cops. Call California, the city police department. Call them and let them know what you seen, if you see anything. Our boys, they are going to be rambunctious, okay? They are going to be here in this area, and I really would like to go in the houses, but it's not because I want to invade people's privacy. I just want to know if make sure. That's it. Because I don't. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. If you got any questions.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say, this is the first time we're hearing from you guys, and I can't imagine what you guys are going through. I can't even fathom it. For you guys, for people who are thinking that there's some kind of foul play involved, we just spoke to the biological mother. She says she had a conversation with you guys, and that she thinks there's some kind of foul play involved. That she thinks you guys did something.
And that's understandable.
What's your response to that?
That's understandable. I would think the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, that's exactly the point. And if we can find our babies, then guess what? That's no. And that's all I want is to find our babies. That's it. And I talked to her this morning, and I really wanted to tell her that I am completely sorry because we were entrusted with her children, and they came to us, and they became our children, and we named them, and they are our children, and so we want them back. So please, if y'all could get back on what you guys are doing, we should be able to get a hold of somebody. They took all of our tech, so they wanted to, I guess, just rule us out, which makes sense. That's part of the investigation. So that's pretty much it.
Have you guys, you talked to the police all last night?
Yes.
So you guys willfully gave them your
Everything.
technology,
Yes.
the car.
Yes.
How did they get a search warrant? Did you
I
guys?
don't see why they got one, but they got one.
Yeah,
We would
they
have let them
didn't
take
need one,
anything.
but
We would have let them take everything. We let them come in and search with us. We asked them to come do that.
What did they take?
Just tech. And that's it. Like our phones.
From the house? What did they?
Oh, well, I guess, should I answer that? Or?
Answer it to us, yeah.
Okay. So, okay, and I guess, I don't even know.
We seriously felt like we needed to be out here. We did. Again, we were told the best are out here looking already. Just to stay put. They have more questions. There was literally a cop with us the whole time in there.
He had to sit down. We would ask, can we go help? They had to sit down.
Said nope.
He said, no, we got the best out there.
So
we
it's
need
not.
you guys here in case we have more questions.
I don't want you guys thinking we didn't try. We actually looked
tried.
before we called
We
police.
Yes.
And I imagine the mind-boggling part is the search for information. What happened? Where are they?
Yes.
Et cetera, et cetera.
And
and just so we are able to present the information correctly, at what time did you guys notice your kids went missing? And at what time were they reported missing to the police?
It's about, I think it was about 4:30, going on 5. It was getting dark, like I said. 5-ish. That's about it. That's when everything played out.
And then when did you guys call the police to report them missing?
After we searched a little bit around here, it was dark, so we definitely got worried.
Would you say it was maybe within an hour, a couple hours?
No, it was within minutes of us getting finished with our search.
Okay.
It was within minutes.
What do you guys want people at home to understand about this situation? For them, even speaking about what you guys are feeling is difficult. What do you want them at home to understand about this whole situation?
We're going through it. It's difficult. I mean, everybody's making their own their own conclusions. They don't know anything. We're not sure like everything. We're not sure. We said what we knew, and if anybody has seen them or anything, please call the police department.
Would you be willing to provide pictures, or do you have any?
I have older pictures. All my newest were on my phone.
Okay.
A lot of people are speaking of this as, after the math, past tense. I want to talk about your kids as present tense. What kind of boys are these? Tell us about the boys.
Very playful, very rambunctious, and they do love to wrestle. They do love to kind of get rough with each other.
Kids.
They're kids. Of course, they would love to go out, but so during the pandemic, we weren't trying to go, out here, and so we stayed inside. Yes, we did. We searched before we called the cops. That's what we did say.
What time did they come up missing?
They came missing right before it got dark. And then I searched that property. I even drove around this neighborhood right here. I even talked to a gentleman on that side, one of those streets over there. I said, did you see some little black kids? And that way looking for them? That's the way I was going to come. But when I came back home, I decided to call the cops because it was dark. They couldn't have got away that fast.
And why did it take two people to go in the house and leave two kids out here by themselves? It should have been one parent going in and one parent right here watching the child, not two parents going in the house and leaving two little kids out here by themselves for 10 minutes.
No, they were in the backyard. And
so
the back gate was open.
Out the backyard.
And the back gate was open, and I was getting wood from this lot here.
So you guys been irresponsible and left the gate open, left them little kids outside with the gate open.
All right. Sorry, you guys were talking about your boys who you're, I understand. For a mother's intuition, I know you were saying, and we'll get your names after this, but you were saying how you feel like they're in this area. Do you feel the same way? And what is the intuition? What is the sense you get? What do you think happened to your boys? Do you think someone took them? Do you think they're lost? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely know they're not walking around. They're not that kind. They do not just roam around. These patches. They definitely, I think, would have been picked up or something.
That was my assumption.
Have they ever taken off over here before?
No.
They've never taken off before?
No.
You guys are new to Cal City, right?
Yep.
How long have you guys been living here?
3 months.
It's crazy because y'all say y'all came out looking for the kids, and y'all got neighbors that say y'all ain't even came out looking for no kids.
The neighbors went out here.
We were looking.
I'm just saying, bro, it's crazy, bro. I got kids of my own.
Where do you live?
These little boys that y'all raising, them is my biological family.
I understand you, bro.
I don't leave kids outside.
And I understand.
I have 9 kids. I have 9 kids.
There's outside in the backyard, and I was watching.
Leave my kids unattended. Not even
4-year-olds,
for a minute.
like, you sit here.
We get that. We get it.
They're in the
We
backyard.
feel it.
Don't even look like you worried,
But
bro.
you said the gate.
I've been
y'all
going through it all the
y'all
2
know y'all
days.
gonna go inside the house, right? Y'all are foster parents, right?
No.
Okay,
we're adopted
y'all
parents.
adopted them,
Yeah,
right?
they are
Okay,
children.
shut the gate. Go in the house. Why did it take both of y'all to go in the house and leave them outside by themselves?
I understand.
And y'all know the gate was
Why
open.
haven't y'all been out with the people around this neighborhood looking for kids?
We already told on
said
camera.
I
We already
didn't see
told
y'all
camera.
on no cameras last night. I
No.
didn't even see y'all out here praying with them people. Them people was out to take care of my nephew. Not supposed to happen.
I understand.
Y'all was supposed to take care of my nephew.
I understand.
If anybody's watching at home who knows anything, or if somebody who has these kids, if they're watching, what is your message to them?
The message has always been, as soon as possible, call the California City Police Department, and please bring our babies home. And that's that.
That's one of the reasons why we actually didn't want to
This
do
is the reason why. Because we were under orders to stay in the house and stay because they're going to need to contact us. And we cannot go outside, and that was the issue. We were under orders by the cops to stay home in the house and let the professionals look.
But you just said that they were your children. If they were your children, regardless of what somebody told you, wouldn't you want to go look for them?
Well, we have cops actually posted in the front door right there.
We totally understand. If you guys actually have that question, we should ask the police officer.
The situation, but do you see how it seems that the kids was left unattended? You guys went in the house and then the kids disappeared. How did they disappear?
Exactly, and that's the way we try to figure out.
It doesn't make sense. How did they disappear? How did they go out? You guys have the house supervised already. And my question is, why were they the only two children out? Where were the rest of the kids?
The rest of the kids were grandpa.
Who?
They left. They went on vacation.
So they didn't?
No, because they're too young. We watched them. And it turns out that happened.
How did the
just really quickly before we forget, first and last name, spelling of both for both of you guys.
Said it again?
Just first and last name.
Spelling of who or what?
Or just your first and last name.
Our names.
Trezell West.
Jacqueline
It's
West.
Trezell West.
Okay, and for you?
Jacqueline.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Jacqueline.
Okay. West?
Yes.
Okay, guys, we'll let you go.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Thank you for love.
I need to unmute. Sometimes, after just watching that still frame all day, the two of them in that courtroom, I just need to hear them talk again. And even though I know the lies they're going to tell, I just have to see that they were full of shit from the beginning, is what it is. Right, Opal. All capitals. And with the S, we forgot the S on the end because there's two of them. Oh, anyways, I'm going to go check my messenger and try to get a little more work done. It's hard to get everything done in the daytime because I'm too busy stuck to that, glued to the trial. And then I'm trying to get the minutes typed up too in between, so I don't have so much to do. But stop being so jumpy. The cat's being weird. Come here, Jazzy. Come here. Come up here. Say hey. Say hey. Turn around. Nobody can see you. Look. Say hey. She mean. She fussy. Where you going? Hey. Say hey, everybody. I'm a little fuss box. Here you go. You're welcome, Opal. I love y'all. Y'all know I do. I'll be back. We'll be back here tomorrow evening, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If I have to push it back, you'll see it pushed back. But that's the plan. We'll see what else they give us tomorrow. It's getting scarier every day. We want to know the truth, but the truth, sometimes it really hurts. But it's the only way we're going to find out where are the boys. So we end this together, y'all. See you tomorrow. Everything is in the Orrin and Orson playlist if you missed it. Or you can rewind this and do it again. I'll see y'all soon, beautiful people. Quiet, kitty cat.